What's going on, guys? Hey, if you haven't voted for me for the next great YouTuber, you should go down below. But I'm not going to keep posting or talking about it because I don't want to keep whoring myself out to win, if that makes sense. I feel like if I should win because I deserve it, I don't need to keep pushing it out. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But anyways, if last time I'm going to mention it, if you haven't voted for me already, it's down. The link will be down below to the video to vote for me for the current one. But anyways, I did a Q&A video, and I don't think many people saw it because I kind of posted it later at night. And so I don't think as many people got to ask questions. So if you see this video in your inbox and you've clicked on it, well, maybe you can, questions that you would have wanted to ask will be answered now. So I got some responses, though, for the amount of views it did get, surprisingly. And so let's answer some of the questions. And this first one I am going to answer because it kind of asked a bunch of questions that a lot of people have asked in the past and present. So this is by Philip Rosa or Dragon Brighter BLS. How old are you? What college or university and what are you taking? First deck in real life. Can you do more videos with your girlfriend? By the way, big fan. I have been subscribed since 500. Well, thank you. That's awesome. How old am I? I'm 22 years old. I've been 22 for the last like 3 months. College, I'm really private about where I live and stuff like that. So all I will say is I'm going to a community college and that I am taking computer networking and applied sciences, because I want to be a computer networker for business. I might transfer and also get my bachelor's degree in computer science flat out. So it's all debates. I started later than most people. As you can see, I'm only in my second term and I'm 22 years old. So recommend don't start late, but there's some other things that went on as why I started late. But anyways, can you do more videos with your girlfriend? TR40 asks, how old am I and what job do you have? Well, I already said how old I am. I'm 22. And what job do you have? Once again, I'm personal with what I do and what I'm like. But before, I worked a sanitary job, and no, not like house cleaning or anything like that, or being a janitor. It was a lot more demanding work and paid more. But I had to get something part-time for school. So what am I for now? I am working security somewhere. And I'll tell you what, yeah, just, I can't wait to get my degree is all I'm going to say. This, Tell a Guy a Joke has, I got 2 questions. How did you end up getting into Yu-Gi-Oh? And non-Yu-Gi-Oh related, are there any bands you are addicted to at the moment or have been listening to more frequently than others? That's a good question. How did I end up getting into Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, my friend Luke, which has actually been in some of my skit videos and old duel videos, and he was in my some of my videos for Underworld 667 for me to, I think it was the skit competition one that he was in. He might have been in another one too. But when we were real little, like when Yu-Gi-Oh first came out, I think we were 7 or 8. I was in 2nd grade. We had soccer practice together, and my mom and his mom, we would swap playing soccer, driving us to the soccer practices. And I got in his car one day, and he had these cards, and he showed them out to me, and then I found it really interesting as a little kid. I found it cool. It's like Pokemon, because I used to play Pokemon when I was little too. So I was like, oh, it's like another card game like that. You like collect hollows, but I didn't know like there was a more, I wouldn't say effective because Pokemon had a battling system, but it was something that resonated with me more, I guess, what you could say as a little kid. I don't know. So then I got into it, and I bought a starter deck with him, actually. We went to a local mall, and he actually bought me a starter deck as a little kid, which was really nice of him. He's helped me out with a lot of things, especially with Yu-Gi-Oh! So thank you, Luke. But he got me a deck, and then it was just from there. For years, I played up until, like, I think 7th grade. I was 12, 13, and then I quit for years, and I got back into it in 2013. So, or end of 2012, I think it was really early 2013 is when I got back in. No, it might have been late 2012. Yeah, it was late 2012 that I got back into it. So I quit for years until I got back into it. I was out of high school. So, yeah, and any bands I'm addicted to at the moment, the new Opeth album, that was not out yet. I've been listening to that, and I've been listening to this band called, what is it called now? I can't think of it. I listen to a lot of music. I can't tell you a specific one I was listening to. I was listening to the new Travis Scott album, if that makes any noise with you. I listen to a lot of music, metal, band. We'll get on that. There's somebody that asked the questions. I'll be more in depth then. But yeah, so nothing at the moment that I can really name off. CGL asks, what are your thoughts on Dark Worlds? I think it was a fun deck. I think it was an interesting deck, but I don't think they really have as much power as they used to now. And while it is budget, I think there's other decks that can do things much better, much faster. Though I do like Dark Smog, can banish cards out of the graveyard, but also, I don't know. I don't think it's the best option right now, but once again, it is very budget, so. And I like Dark Worlds. I like Dark type archetypes, so. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Faded X Duelist asked, Recall you mentioning you're into the metal genre. Possible all types involved in the genre? Was just wondering if you're still into metal, and if so, what type or what bands are you currently in your playlist, and do you play an instrument? I don't really play an instrument. I've kind of played guitar and kind of learned like some djenty, if you know what djent is, metal core type strumming, but not. I'm not in it. I'm not good at it. I'm not. I want to consider myself a guitar player, but I'm into all metal. I'm just to talk this for anybody else who was ever interested. I'm into all music. I mean, you name it, I have probably listened to it. My library is huge. I have too much music. There's still probably like 20 albums I need to listen to, and I have tons. I love music. It's all of what I'm about. But metal that I've currently listened to, I listened to the new Architects album that came out a few months ago. I've been listening to the new Opeth songs. I like, some people are really like metal elitist. I like metalcore, deathcore, death metal, old metal, newer metal, melodic metal, like you name it, I listen to it. I don't really like the 80s style metal music though, not really my vibe. I'm not a big fan of 80s music, but with that, some of my favorite bands though are Deftones, Tool, Vince Staples, Earl Sweatshirt, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. Radiohead. I couldn't name all the bands I like. I like Circa Survive, if you've ever heard of them. Chelsea Grin. It goes on. I listen to Hatebreed. I could keep talking about this. I'm going to stop myself now. But I like it all. So whatever you're probably going to list, I'll probably enjoy. This is a good one. The Lucky Demon Tom asked, why do you like Battlin Boxer so much? And if possible, we see a deck profile for Battlin Boxer anytime. Okay. The Battlin Boxer thing started, when the Battlin Boxers came out, I found them interesting, because I used to see Asian Eyes play them back when Asian Eyes would actually do like tons of just random duels with like decks that might be coming out, even cheap or good, bad or good, and I played Battlin Boxers, and I wasn't really vibing with it. I did not dig it. I was like, what do people see in this to even play it on a budget? I didn't like it. Fast forward to just a few months later, when they got Battlin Boxer Spirits and a few other cards, I tried playing it again. I'm like, I'm watching these deck profiles that people are topping locals, because it wasn't a huge deck that was topping everywhere. But like people who were topping like bigger locals with it, just to get an idea of how the deck plays, I still didn't get it. I was playing it online, playing it against my friends, and it didn't make sense to me. I was like, this is not a good deck. Why is this doing well? And then I found a way, and yes, this is what made me play it more, because it felt creative. It felt like something I made that I didn't see other people do. I switched it around and how the deck worked a little bit. I made it abuse headgear and Glassjaw's effect way more than what the other decks did, and I relied on Warrior Returning Alive to keep spamming cards, and it worked really well for that given format. I could take on some more meta decks. Was it the best deck ever? No, it was a cheap, fun deck, but it resonated with me and I liked it a lot because I took a deck and I made it something that other people weren't playing, and to me it felt like a huge improvement. And that's why I enjoyed playing Battlin Boxers. Will we see a Battlin Boxer deck profile? Probably not, because they're not good without 3 Rotas at this point, in my eyes. So, sorry. Where do you live? A couple people asked that, so I'm not going to say. East Coast. I'll narrow it down. Dominic Milano, sorry if I mispronounced that. What other content besides Yu-Gi-Oh do you watch on YouTube? I watch a lot of tech-related channels. I'm a big tech guy, not just like your cell phones and computers and other stuff, like hardware too, like making emulator box with a Raspberry Pi and making different types of Linux distros and building computers. I'm very hardware based. I enjoy technology, everything there's about it, hence why I'm going to school for it. So that's I've watched a bunch of people on that. I'd probably say like 10 different channels for that, 10 or 12, and then watch a lot of informal videos like Vsauce. There's a bunch of other channels. One channel I like is Dark5 that does like top 5 really creepy things, but like not in your normal annoying way where they talk all upbeat and they're like, yeah, and they're all sarcastic. He does it in a really cool and plays ambient tracks. If you haven't watched it, I'd look up Dark5. It's a really cool channel. Other stuff I watch Philip DeFranco for news. I've watched him since like 2010, 9, I feel like. But yeah, mostly tech channels. I used to watch this big tech channel called Tech Syndicate because I also liked their vibe, but they seem to have gone downhill the past month and they've been having a lot of problems, so I don't recommend checking them out right now. But yeah, just informable videos is pretty much all I watch. And I don't watch TV really either, so yeah. Here's a good one. Jordan Jackson asks, why don't you play competitively in Yu-Gi-Oh? I used to. When I got back into it, like I said, I started in 2012. I didn't make YouTube videos for like a year and so later. I actually was. I was into the competitive scene. I couldn't tell you how many thousands of videos I watched a day trying to get the competitive plays and perfecting decks. And I was all about it, but what I found is, and this is what upset me, because I just got back into it after being a kid and actually learning the game, and I was going like really hardcore and learning like strategies, mechanics, what cards to play, what staples are the best, all this, and keeping up on it to a T for months. And what got me was this deck. What was it? I think it was Mermails at the time, when Abyss Megalo was like up to like $75 to $100 something. I forget how much the deck was at the time. It was like $400, and this was like when Mermails first like started coming out. The deck was expensive because like right off the bat you had to spend like $300 on Abyss Megalos. I think that's the card. I'm sorry. And I remember something happened where that deck got hit to a degree and everything just dropped. And it just showed I did not like, because I'm not a person that likes to spend money that much, so I did not like the complete drop that you have to put into this game. If I had a lot more money, I would say I would play more competitively, but that's why I don't play competitively. That's why I focus on the fun aspect of the game, is I would rather take a deck that is great in budget and still fun to a tournament than pay a lot of money for a deck that I'll probably lose a bunch of money on. With that being said, though, I am leaning more towards to the semi-budget to competitive. The decks that can actually still get in the top 10s in tournaments, but are more of the cheaper ones. So I have slightly changed my pace than just playing super budget. I'm more playing the mid-tier budget now. So I'm slightly getting more back into the competitive scene. We'll see what happens. Young Breezy 961 asks, if you had a few YouTubers you would do a collab with, who would they be and why? I couldn't say I could collab with anybody because I don't think people like collab videos. People don't also like when we're featured on channels. I know you have to do it to get your name out there, so I appreciate everybody who's ever let me. But collabing, I don't think people like. If I were to collab with anybody, though, specifically that was in my mind, is Nim, because I like his style of videos, I like how he talks, and Ryan, and probably, if anybody, Mega Capital G. And I've already done it with Ryan. And this is nothing against anybody else, but all the collabs I would like to do, while I would like to name off videos if I've ever met them in person, the things I would actually like to do the most is just duel videos. I would love to just have duel videos of fun, interesting, random decks with just random YouTubers. It doesn't matter if you play bad or good. It's not about that. It was all about, like, I would love to just do videos with random other YouTubers and just do duels. Like, we pick, like, a tier or something from, like, YuGiOh Wikipedia and then play any deck out of that tier. Something like that. I don't know. Or just random decks. That's what my idea for collabs would be. So I couldn't name off any specific names, but I would like to do that with any YouTuber. That's the type of collabs I would like to do. I would like to duel with more people. Oh, a YouTuber asked, X Underground members X, so if you guys don't know him, check out his channel, because I know most people have heard of him. What made you want to become a YouTuber? Okay, so I like video editing. I don't use my fullest video editing skills to my potential when I make videos, which most people would probably say in the next YouTuber. Why I don't always do that is because, one, I feel like the in isn't what you get out, which means what you put into the video you won't really get back time-wise, which happens with a lot of things. I know that can maybe expand my channel, but I like talking. I don't like doing overly complicated things. I like talking to the viewer face-to-face. It's just kind of my thing. At the time, I wanted to do more effects and stuff in the beginning, but I didn't. And now this is kind of my thing. This is kind of what I'm known for. I mean, I'm not a well-known person, but like this is my thing for my channel. So this is why I keep with it. While I do change some things and do some different styles here and there, this is like the majority of how I do my videos. And the reason why I wanted to become a YouTuber is because I enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh! And I wanted to and there was some type of foothold that interested me in to make videos. And I like video editing and videos and computers. So, and cameras and photography. So that's what kind of made me do it. I don't know if that answers your question all the way, but there we go. Here's another one about music from Dissoloni Dactyl. Do you listen to Mastodon? You look like you listen to Mastodon, which would be pretty cool. In fact, after I just did my long rant of how much metal I listen to, I'm not a big fan of Mastodon. Once again, Opeth. But Mastodon's alright. There's a few songs I could listen to, but they're not on my list of things to listen to all the time. No offense, not saying they're bad. Everybody's got different taste. Awesome20801 asks, what is your favorite deck? Well, my favorite deck is my Dark Necrofear deck that I made right back when I got back in the game. It wasn't my competitive deck, but it was a very creative deck, and I've talked about this probably 1,000 times, but it was a very interesting deck that I've never seen anybody else play, and it played very well for what it was, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. So, yeah. Sean Valverde, if I pronounced your name all right, what TV shows are you a fan of non-anime? Well, first I'm going to say an anime show, because I've only liked like one or two, And Samurai Champloo, by the way, is an anime, and it's like my favorite anime. I've watched a few different ones, and I'm not a fan of them, but Samurai Champloo is genius. It's got great story, sound, and everything, and I love it. But other TV shows, I've been watching Shameless on Netflix the past few like week or so. It's a terrible, terrible show in the way that it's vulgar, but it's wonderful. It's hilarious. I like Family Guy and South Park, which most people our age like, but when it actually comes to like TV shows, I love Breaking Bad. I love Dexter. I love Band of Brothers, and then The Pacific, which is the I guess sequel of Band of Brothers, sort of, but different characters. I don't know, same universe, different section. I've been watching Mr. Robot, which is a genius show that's new. It's very techie, but it's a genius thing on USA. I would watch it. It is getting tons of rave reviews, and I can see why, because I love it. And regular show, Adventure Time, Mr. Rick and Morty. But I don't watch that much TV. I'd say I only watch that when new stuff's out, and then I'm done watching TV. I barely ever watch TV, so that's pretty much what I watch. Olympio asked, what was the first deck you loved? The first deck I loved? Oh, that's a toughie. I'd say E-Heroes. Back right before they even got released in the first GX series of packs. It was what was it? New Millennium? I think it was. Released 2005? 6-ish? When E-Heroes, I think it was like the first set of E-Heroes were released with like one or two of the fusions. I thought they were really interesting, but then like the year later, they started getting more support and cards released, and I thought it was just a cool-ass deck. Like, it was badass. It was my favorite deck. It really was. Now, AKnewGod, throwing out with the great questions here. What do you like and dislike the most about Yu-Gi-Oh! Community? What I like about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is the ability to find information and that there are people out there that are willing to help you. While there are a lot that aren't. That is what I dislike and dislike. There's either the section that are willing to help you and don't care if you're bad or good at the game and are willing to just enjoy it, open packs, have a good time. And then there are people that are just like people on Xbox Live. You scrub noob, you suck. Kill yourself. Like, dude, come on, it's a game, man. I'm still gonna have that thought process no matter what game it is. Call of Duty, whatever. I used to be a hardcore gamer, but I still never freaked out on people for not being good at the game. Like, it doesn't matter if you're not good at something. It's for fun. It's entertainment. I'm not being entertained when you're being a dick, so don't be a dick. So, thanks for the question. And finally, Nim throwing out, what are your favorite YouTubers? Well, I couldn't say I would have a favorite because I watch whatever is relevant in my feed because I'm subscribed to a bunch. But what I could say is I watch people who post more consistently about the game, but I also watch people who post, like, okay, no offense, Nim, but you have been posting more now, but for a while you didn't post as often. But back in the day when you posted all the time, I watched you because when I would get on my subscription box, you were there. But I still watch you. I watch Ryan's videos, but once again, hasn't posted in a while, but I do watch him. But people that I'd say I watch the most, and I would say would be more my top, is Mega Capital G. I used to watch Agent Eyes a lot, but not as much now. And D-Silent Sigma, or now his name is DP YuGiOh. I don't even remember what his name is now, but I watch him all the time. I think his humor is hilarious. He kind of has, I wouldn't say my persona, he's completely different, but like, he makes it interesting while also talking about the card in a competitive manner. And I like that. Catches my attention. So, those are, I would say, is who I watch the most, but I watch pretty much all of them. So if I did not name you, I probably watch you. It's just I don't consistently check it, but I do watch it. Oh, and I watch Glasgow YuGiOh a lot, even though he pretty much made a whole video about me being a noob, and whether or not he wants to admit or not, I'm like 100% sure it was about me. But I still like his videos, so once again, it shows me not being a poor sport. Even if somebody kind of called you out, I still like his videos, so it's kind of hard to like not like him, you know what I mean? So, yeah. That would be, I guess, who I consistently watch. But not saying I don't like. Like, I like Olympio. I check out his deck profiles. They've even featured a deck profile of his on my channel before. Like, I like all. Like, I can't really be... And I'm not saying that to kiss up. It's honest. I just watch. If it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Related, I don't really have anything against you. Even my opponent right now, Next Great YouTuber. His videos are very informative. I would like to win, but doesn't mean he's bad. So, anyways, that was all I have for you guys. I think I just spit on my laptop. Maybe we'll do another comment video, but hey, like it up, and thanks for your questions. Oh, by the way, just for anybody who's curious, the mat giveaway is closed. I have picked a winner, so I don't know if he wants to be named, so if he wants to be named, I'm not going to name him off. I don't know, some people are private about that, so I prefer not to right now. But if you wanted me to, I will next video, man. So if you watch this, let me know. Peace out.